Starting off, I used my spoolie to brush up my brow hairs so I can have them where I want them to be while I just carve the brows. So next up, I'll be using the Davis brow pencil to outline the bottom of my brows to form an arch. So I'm basically doing this to know where to carve. You just want to use it to outline your brows in the way you want your brows to be after carving it. So any hair that falls underneath this line is going to be carved or shaved off. I'm basically just shaving off all the hairs that are under the line I drew, as you can see. So the line is serving as a guide for me to know where to shave and where not to shave. So after that, I'm basically just using the razor to clean off the top part of my brows. So I'm basically not doing so much. I'm just basically cleaning off the excess hairs that are on top of my brows, as you can see. I'm going to be using my spoolie to brush up the brow hairs so I can see if there are any hairs out of place that I need to carve off. And I'm basically just using the blade to carve off the hairs that are out of place. So now I'm done, and you can see the difference between the one I've carved and the one that I have not carved. So I'm going to move on to doing the same process on my second brow. So while you're doing this, you want to note that brows are sisters and they are not twins. So you want to have this at the back of your mind, because the moment you're trying so hard to ensure that both brows are the same, you're going to end up spoiling them. So you just want them to look alike but not identical, if you get what I mean. So I'm done with both brows, and you can see the outcome. To draw my brows, first I'll apply some powders on my brows. This will help me control any oil on my brows that might want to prevent my pencil from gliding through. So this way it's going to be easy for me to use my brow pencil. So I'm basically just outlining my brows using my brow pencil, as you can see, and I'm just following my natural brows. So I naturally have full brows, and that's why it's easy for me to do. So if you do not have like natural full brows, you can basically just outline the brows how you want them to be. So I'm using this method to show you guys how the brows should be. So this point is basically where your brows should start, and this other point is basically where you should have your arch, and this other point is basically where your brows should end. Okay, so if you do not have full brows, you basically want to use this method to know how to like outline your brows. So next up, I'm going to lightly fill in the space where I do not have hairs. So as you can see, I have naturally full brows, so I'm not going to be filling too much. So I'm just doing basically light strokes inside where I don't have much hair. And I also extended the brows to the point where my brows should start, and I'm also filling that as well. So I'm going to repeat the same process for my second brows and then come back to conceal the brows. So next up, I'll be using my edge control gel to basically lay my brow hairs in place so they look as natural as possible. To conceal your brows, you want to use a thick concealer or a cream concealer, so it will be easy for you to control the concealer while you're cleaning your brows. If you don't have that, you can basically just add a little, like a very tiny amount of your setting powder to your concealer to give it a thick texture, so that way it will be easy for you to work with. You want to ensure that the consistency is not too thick, so basically just mix it to get a reasonable consistency. Then you want to use a flat brush to start cleaning from the lower part of the brows, and you want to be as careful as possible so you don't end up ruining the brows. Next up, you'll be needing a blending brush to blend out the concealer so it gives the perfect finish. For the upper part of my brows, I'll be using my Perfect foundation shade. So you want to use your foundation shade for the upper part of your brows so it blends perfectly into your skin. And then I'll be using some light strokes at the starting point of my brows to give it a more natural look. And I'm going to also take my spoolie to brush that in and just repeat the process. And yeah guys, this is the final result. Please, if you like the video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section. Also subscribe to my channel for more amazing content. Thanks for watching and bye.